So welcome again to our technical drawing for mechanical engineering MOOC. We now present Module 1, we are still in Module 1 and this is Unit 2. Remember, Module 1 is technical drawing for assemblies and Unit 2 is standards and elements in an assembly set. Welcome to this unit again, Module 1 and Unit 2. It's very important because we're going to talk about the elements that an assembly set must have in the plane we're going to draw. Unit 2, standards and elements in an assembly set. We have here our leaf in the plane, and the plane of a part allows us to know all the information to manufacture it. But how can we obtain information about the assembly, about our hinge? This is our hinge, but how many parts is it made of? How are they assembled? How is it inside? This information is given by the assembly set plane. Let's see how our hinge is, how many parts it is made of, and how are they assembled. We see here the parts of our hinge. The hinge has 2 nuts. We can see it has also 2 leaves. It has 1 separator and finally 1 stud. The previous image is called exploded view. It is an image that allows us to see clearly the parts that make up the assembly, but it does not give information of the final assembly. That's it. It does not provide the necessary information to have the hinge ready for its use. This information will be provided by the assembly plane. We can see in this image our plane for the assembly of our hinge. You can observe the plane does not include measurements, that's it, dimensions. The assembly set is used to know how the parts are assembled and how it works. It will be necessary to draw the plane for each single part in order to be able to manufacture it. It just gives the information of how many parts we have and how are they assembled one each other. Now, you can observe each different part is identified by a reference number. It can be either a dot or with an arrow. In this case, we have 6 parts in the hinge, but we have 2 equal nuts and we have also 2 equal leaves. So we have really 4 different parts. It is important always to incorporate a title block. Our title block has very important information. It can vary, but there is some information that it must be always present. The number of equal parts, the name of the part, of each different part, the reference number, and if needed, the standard for standard parts. It can be either ISO standard or sometimes we will use the European DIN standard. Once again, we see our title block. We need also the symbol for the operation system, in this case, first angle projection or European system, and the scale of our drawing. Sometimes we can use also the American or third angle projection system. We will talk about the scale. So, we are drawing our hinge, which measures 160 millimeters, but the scale is the measurement of the drawing divided by the real measure. So in this case, we are going to draw our hinge scale 2:1. This means the drawing measures 160, but the real leaf of the hinge measures just 80. We observe here that when you are going to do the dimension of the leaf, the dimension must be 80. It must be always the real dimension. It is very important. More things that we can observe. You see that each part is hatched differently in angle and in thickness. And neither the nuts nor the stud have been cut. These are two very important things in an assembly plane. So parts like screws, nuts, studs, pins are not cut in assembly planes. We have seen before the nuts, and we have seen also a stud. Here we have a train gear, and as you can observe, shaft part number 2 has no holes, has no details inside. So we don't cut, we don't hatch the shaft. We draw it as if it wasn't cut by the cutting plane. This is the end of our Unit 2 in Module 1. Now, in our summary, what have we learned? As we said in Unit 1, mechanical assemblies are used everywhere. A plane for the assembly is needed to know information about it. It will be needed to assemble once the parts are manufactured. It will be possible also to know how it works. These planes for the assemblies must be done according to international standards. The title block has very important information for our assembly plane, like part name, number of equal parts, and ISO or DIN standards. So after our summary, we will be waiting for you in Unit 3 of our Module 1.